Welcome back to One with Nature. Today it's just me, my Karelian Bear Dog Umka, and the wilderness. We are heading into the mountains for a few days of walk in spring bear hunting. This video is not about trophies or hunting achievements. For me personally, hunting is a way to maintain my connection with the nature and continue practicing traditional wilderness travel and self-reliance skills. By making this video, I want to inspire more people to experience hunting beyond roads, trucks, and RVs, to slow down, walk into the wilderness, spend nights outside, and truly become part of the environment around them. When I arrive in the area, I usually leave my truck a few kilometers away from the place where I plan to build my camp. From there, Umka and I continue on foot, searching for a quiet and beautiful place to build a small base camp for the next few days. Once camp is ready, we explore the surrounding wilderness and return there each night. After hiking a few kilometers in, we found a beautiful spot near the river for our base camp. During my Novice 1 program, I teach people how to properly choose a safe and comfortable shelter location. In the wilderness, even something as simple as selecting a campsite requires careful observation and consideration. You need to think about wind direction, the trees above you, flooding risk, terrain, wildlife movement, and many other factors that can affect both comfort and safety. On established campgrounds, most people never have to think about these things because somebody already chose the location for them. But in the wilderness, learning how to read the environment becomes part of the experience itself. For me, building a small camp in a good location creates a much deeper connection with the area around. It slowly stops feeling like a place I am visiting. It starts feeling like home for the next few days, and usually I always feel a little bit sad to leave the home. Throughout this trip, you will see different gear and tools that I use in the wilderness. Some of this equipment has been with me for many years and proved itself reliable over time. Other items I am still testing to better understand their strengths and weaknesses in real outdoor conditions. I don't believe in perfect gear or perfect tools. In my opinion, the most important thing is developing skills and learning how to adapt and work with what is available around you. If you are interested in detailed reviews of any gear you see in this video, let me know in the comments. I am planning to make separate review videos focused on practical wilderness use rather than just technical specifications. During this trip, I am testing the Victorinox Venture fixed blade knife. There are already several things I like about it and several things I don't. I decided to start using a different knife on each trip and later make a separate detailed review based on actual field experience. Because I believe for an outdoorsman, a knife should be a true versatile and multifunctional tool, capable of handling many different tasks in real wilderness conditions. If you would like to see the full review later about the Victorinox, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss future videos. Now the camp and my bed are ready, and I still have some time to relax by fire and make tea before heading out for the evening hunt. Staying properly hydrated is extremely important during physically demanding wilderness travel and hunting. Over the years, I have used many different water filtration systems, and very often I simply boil water over the fire. On this trip, I am using one of my favorite filtration systems, the Grail GeoPress. Just to clarify, I am not affiliated with Grail in any way. Everything I share about gear is based entirely on my personal field experience. During my outdoor education programs, I teach people many different methods of fire making, including primitive friction fire techniques. But during my hunting trips, I like save time. One of my favorite fire starters is a simple cotton makeup removal pad soaked in wax. It is lightweight, waterproof, compact, and surprisingly effective. Usually, 1/3 of a single pad is enough to start a fire. Once the fibers are exposed, it ignites very easily with just a single strike of ferrite. Simple solutions like this often work far better in the field than fancy survival gadgets. Now it's time to slow down, relax, and enjoy the fire for a little while before the evening hunt. Moments like this are one of the main reasons I keep returning to the wilderness. The fire, the sound of the river, the smell of the forest, and the complete separation from roads, noise, and everyday distractions create a feeling that is difficult to explain unless you experience it yourself. For me, wilderness hunting has never been only about harvesting an animal. It's also about reconnecting with nature, slowing down, observing the environment around you, and learning to feel comfortable living outside for a few days with only basic equipment and skills. Do you see something? Sit. Umka, sit. Umka, sit. Good girl. Good girl. So close. Returning to camp after a long hunt always feels a little like coming home. Even in complete darkness, you already remember the landscape around you, the river, the trees, the trails, the sounds of the water, and the location of your campfire. After spending time in one place, the wilderness slowly starts feeling familiar instead of unknown. I call this feeling reconnection. Sitting beside a fire at night, somewhere deep in the wilderness, feels completely different from sitting next to the fireplace at home. The darkness around you, the sounds of the forest, and the understanding that you completely surrounded by nature create an atmosphere that is difficult to compare to anything else. The first day is almost over. Just want to prepare a dinner, and what we have for dinner is pasta and trout with horse mackerel. Good, good. And rice for tomorrow. Oh, it's boiling. That's good. It is 11 p.m. Definitely too late for dinner, but looks good. Looks good. And bed is ready. Umka is ready too. I am ready to get my dinner and go to bed. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. That was a very warm night. The sleeping bag is probably too warm for this weather, but I prefer too warm and instead too cold. So I need to wake up, get some tea, and go check it out. Check bears. That was a good night. I slept well. Bed is very comfortable. Would you like to have fire? We will do that. Oh, look at that. Nice color. So, Thursday morning hunting is over. We didn't see anything. Only a couple drops. Elk. No bears. That's okay. That's good. That's challenging. What's the hunting about? It's not about getting animal. It's about experiencing. Figure out all puzzles. Being connected to the nature. Oh, it looks so good. Easy to cook, simple, and very delicious. It's too hot near the fire. Down, down. Shake, shake. Good girl. Good girl. Voice. Voice. Good girl. There's a medium spice, okay? Wait. Wait. Just a little bit, okay? It's spicy. You're asking too much. I'm not putting. Wait. It's so hot. Now it will cool down. Good girl. Good girl. Wait. Go. GPS. Oh, it's so good. Gonna have cross. Yeah. So I need to put the alarm for sure. Otherwise, I might sleep too much. So the bed is so good. Inflatable pillow. I don't think it's less comfortable than at home. During the hunting, I tried to make my sleeping place very comfortable. Then I can rest well. Sidewise, sleeping on the side, sleeping on the back. All very comfortable. Okay, see you after the nap. During a short break in an open area, I decided to test how easy it would be to sharpen the Victorinox Venture in the field. After some general camp and outdoor use, the edge became dull enough that it was not longer shaving hair cleanly. I prefer to keep my knives razor sharp at all times, so I usually carry a small pocket sharpener with me during trips like this one. After spending around 5 minutes sharpening the knife, the edge was shaving hair again without any problem. So I can definitely say that the steel is relatively easy to sharpen in the field conditions, which is an important advantage for a practical outdoor knife. However, there are also several things about this knife that I don't like, and I will talk about them in more detail in a separate review video after I spend more time using it in the real wilderness conditions. So, need to make a decision. The second day of hunting, and I didn't see much bear signs. Couple drops, but that's very few for this time of the year. So today I walk this evening 12 kilometers and check all the areas around, and I don't see any other spots around close by. So now I need to make a decision if I stay here or move to another location and check out there. Couple more days left, so we already checked out everything here. And here's more human signs, garbage everywhere. Unfortunately today even they found golf ball in the forest. Yeah, people are insane, leaving garbage everywhere. So for tomorrow we'll probably skip the morning hunt. We'll go back to the truck, pack everything, and go to another area. We will see, but decision is made. Tomorrow morning we go into another area. I already had some food. We'll just finish the lunch, and now going to get some tea, finish the fire. That's so nice. This device, I use it for a while. I changed the mash because the first one was so dirty and a little bit rusty. But that thing is amazing. The ground is not burning. Even coals is not dropping out sparks. Maybe a couple sparks is shooting away, but it's still much better than burning the ground. And that thing is pretty light, even okay for backpacking. Definitely recommend this mash fire pit. It's very useful, very practical. Even if we will not get the bear, I am very happy. Hunting is not about getting meat. Hunting is about the experience. And that's why I do traditional hunting. I'm not sleeping in the trucks. I try to sleep in the forest and make it as close to traditional hunting as possible. When I learned from First Nations in Siberia, Russia, the guys are just leaving for hunting for a couple of weeks, and they're sleeping all the time in the forest. And I learned a lot from them. I'm still missing that experience, but maybe one day I will go back and get some more experience and knowledge and wisdom. But now let's go to sleep. So have a good night and see you tomorrow. That's a great spot for shelter. There's a bed, here's a fire, there's a cooking. Very cool. Maybe someday I will have here. And you don't need tarp. Here someone was eating dandelions. Yeah, they're edible, even for human. Let me finish one. Okay, put them to line. Like a salad. Now we need to find who was eating dandelions. We found who was eating dandelions, but it's a cub, very small bear. Most Karelian bear dogs, and like us in general, are naturally very independent hunting dogs. However, under Canadian hunting regulations, I cannot allow Umka to freely chase wildlife or pursue animals without control. From the beginning, I trained her to work as disciplined hunting partner, one that responds to my commands and adapts to my hunting plans, the environment, and legal requirements. Honestly, I am very satisfied with her patience, discipline, and ability to stay focused even in exciting situations. She found her first moose when she was only 7 months old, and today may become the day she finds her first bear. Amelia, good job with these squirrels. Find the bear. Okay, where's the bear? That's not the bear. That's a very small bear. We need bigger one. Let's go. So we got bear. This young one. Umka found it and hold it. And I did a headshot. Now I need to go back to truck, take game bags, also one wheel cart, so then come back. So this road is not drivable. I cannot drive here, and probably around 2.5 kilometers from the truck. So that's good for Umka that the bear is young. But usually I try to avoid shooting young bears. But if I will not shoot that one, she will not understand what is hunting about. And I had to, for the training purpose, but also quality meat. Young bear, but it was by itself. There's no adults. It's probably 2 years old. but big enough to fight with Umka. I tried to attack and she avoided. Unfortunately, I didn't get cameras. I tried to get as fast as possible. So that's it. We get the tag, cut the tag. Now I need to process. Probably will be dark. I will not be able to record the processing. And when we come back, probably will be dark. So I will be loading and going back home to not spoil meat. And Umka is so happy. She didn't want to leave the bear. Was staying with it. I said, where are we going? This is our meat. She don't understand that we will come back. Okay. Now need to walk and then come back and process and so on. So I think it will be dark. See you next time. And next time will be, I hope, soon. Bye everyone. That was a good hunt. Amazing experience. Not the best bear ever had. Not the biggest one. Probably the youngest one ever. But it is a first Umka's bear. That's good. The next day, we returned home late at night. Tired, but happy. After another unforgettable trip into the wilderness. For me, experiences like this are never only about hunting. They are about adventure, self-reliance, reconnecting with nature, and sharing these moments with a loyal companion like Umka. We are both already looking forward to the next adventure, and she is dreaming about it. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, respect nature, and I will see you in the next adventure.